Well, that was dramatic, wasn't it? X almost literally blew up. What's up with
Man,
that? I
yeah, I
think
don't know, man. I don't know. But I'm pretty excited that we are back again, the three of us here, and we have this session for helping Vibe coders getting started solid in 2026. Kobe, my man, how are you today?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. It's Friday. We had some nasty weather here overnight, so I had to drive like 15 under the speed limit to work today.
oh damn.
Um, but yeah, I'm stoked because it gave me a little bit extra time in the car to put this framework that we're going to talk about today on paper and realizing, wow, this kind of formula is something I've been doing for a while without even having it on paper. So I'm really excited to share that today and kind of get into some of the other things, into some of the news that Trav's going to share as well. So yeah, I'm super stoked and really excited to get to my weekend so I can have some more time to build.
Ooh, I love that. That makes me very, very fired up here. I love it when people take their free time to continue to work essentially. That just shows the passion and the drive that you guys have behind it.
Heck
Welcome
yeah. Well, it
everyone.
ain't work if you love it, right? You know, you don't
That's
work a
true.
day in your life if you love what you're doing. So,
So just to be clear here, we have been chatting for 2 minutes 29 seconds, and the alpha has already dropped. So you're welcome. Oh, I cannot hear you, Quantic. Can you hear Quantic, Kobe?
he's on mute. He's got the mute button
Ah,
Okay,
smashed.
there we
now I'm
go.
back.
I
Now I'm
was
back. I
worried.
just wanted to quickly interrupt before we get into like the meat and potatoes here and ask you, how do you feel about doing all of this stuff that we do with Web3 Matters? Because for me, it also doesn't feel like work. I just come in here and vibe and do whatever it is that you guys want to do and check with our audience here. And, even if there is nothing, that we have prepared, I still enjoy it and I still have things to show and talk. But I don't know, how do you guys feel about it?
Man, me personally, I'm a big fan. It's still very much a it's something that I look forward to every single week, no matter how crazy the week gets, no matter what I have on my plate in my personal life, knowing that Web3 matters, that this show is there waiting for us every single Friday. I'm a huge fan. And like what I love about our process, and I won't go too deep into this tangent here, but what I love about this process is like with Web3 matters, we could very much, like you say, you said multiple times on our streams, Quantic, that like if we wanted to, we could push this, we could scale, we could blow up. But the fact that we've been such a slow burn, such a slow build for like literally 3 years now, and like keeping it just like completely organic, sticking to our values, continuing to just want to drive and deliver value, it just keeps it fun, and I love it. So that's my take. Kobe, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree more. Or, I mean, I couldn't agree anymore. Honestly, like we were talking about it before stream. Like I was telling these guys, oh, I miss spaces. You know, that was kind of part of our evolution as a group here. You know, we started on spaces every Friday, kind of the same time, and transition to the live stream so we can actually like show you guys what we're doing and kind of show a little bit more stuff. So yeah, I'm excited not only about what the future holds, but yeah, one, it doesn't feel like work really to me.
Yeah,
Um, so it's definitely like, I'm kind of cooking some stuff up for us, which I'll table that for another time. Um, but it definitely feels a lot different than
hint,
like doing
hint.
some.
Let's not fade that.
That's right. Doing it feels a lot different than doing like client work or anything like that. And now that I am, a company man, a 9 to 5er, I don't have to do any work at home, which is awesome. Like my work, it stays here when I leave, and that's maybe the best part about the current space that I'm in now. So excited.
No, that's huge. How about you, Victor? Are you on mute again?
Well,
Nope, you're
I
not.
answer. Are you talking still about how do I feel about doing this stuff or what?
Yeah, I know you said you love the vibe, but now that you've heard our responses, uh, did anything else come to your mind? Are you inspired to expand?
Yeah, I like it. I like how we're dealing with everything that we are doing at Web3 Matters. I still feel like we need to find more structured paths for certain things. But we will get there. Like I'm overconfident, if you want, in us, in our capabilities, and the things that we can provide. Like we are just
100%.
it's like waiting time is not something that I feel it goes against us. It goes in our favor in this stage.
100%. The one thing I've definitely noticed that contributes to like our slow ascent into success is that as time goes by, our networks are growing, our skills are growing, our community is growing, our feedback is growing. All of these things are just intrinsically, naturally growing. And when that's kind of the case, when that's the trajectory, there's the only possible outcome is just success. So yes, I agree with you.
Like I've said before, man, this is like the constant, right? If everything else is like variables, like whether it's personal stuff, work stuff, the markets in general, right? Markets are
Mhm.
so volatile. The narratives are even more volatile and short-lived and ADHD. We might have ADHD, but us being here every single Friday is the constant. And so, if you guys are out there, if this is the first time you're watching, like definitely hit the follow button, share the stream. This is something that we do every single Friday. Trav has been interviewing some like really big people in this space, and we in the coming weeks and months we plan to not only bring you guys some like deliverables to like do stuff with, but also plan to bring on some professionals and some chads like in their respective niches. And so if that's the type of stuff that you guys like, definitely hit the follow button and drop a comment below.
And enough of that. So yes, no, I appreciate that, Kobe. Really, really well said here. Very excited for the future here. We've definitely, while I just said where it's a slow grind and a slow build, we're excited to make some pretty big steps here these days. So let's not fade that. So guys, to get started, we were talking before the stream started here, and we thought we would do something a little bit more, a little bit different, a little bit fun. So what the idea was is we're going to talk about the top 3 degen crypto stories that happened this week. And oh, they are doozies. They are doozies. I'm curious to get your guys' take on number 1 here. And number 1, of course, Eric Adams, the New York City token rug allegations. So a little bit of backstory. Former New York City Mayor Eric Adams launched or promoted a meme coin called NYC token on Solana to combat anti-Semitism and anti-Americanism. Okay. It pumped initially, but crashed 80% within minutes after launch, with on-chain data showing massive liquidity removal, $3 million plus pulled. Excuse me. Community called it an obvious rug, sparking outrage and comparisons to past celeb/political token flops like help me out here, Kobe. Milei Libra. Did I say that right?
Yeah, Malay.
Milei
Yeah.
Libra, or Hawktua.
Or Trump. Can't forget about
Or
Trump,
Trump,
and
yes.
Melania, which
Trump
we covered
coin.
at our first stream of the year.
100%. Classic degen cautionary tale. Even big names can lead to fast rugs. How do you guys think this, this is stupid.
I got you. Here's my take. So I have a two-part take. Number 1, which I think is the biggest thing to take away, and is that most likely that wasn't this guy's plan, whatever his name is, this former mayor's plan. If that wasn't his plan, he probably most likely, at least this is what happened with the Malay deal. He did not come away. He's not coming away with the cash that was dumped on everybody, right? With Malay, there was a guy named don't remember his name, but he helped them launch the project. He's just a degen guy, just like me and you. He's helped other people, quote unquote, dev a project, but he's not a developer. You don't have to be a developer to launch a token nowadays, especially on Solana. So I have a feeling that it was whoever he recruited to help him. Maybe it was this Hayden. It was the guy's name. Maybe it was the same dude who helped Malay, Hayden, or a similar character. That person or people around that group are the most likely the people that came away with the cash, if I had to guess. Part number 2, I really don't want to get political, but this whole, as the only American in the room, this whole fight against anti-Semitism, there is not a widespread issue of anti-Semitism in the States. This is like a narrative that's being it's made up, okay? Just because people disagree with Israel's politics and their decisions and the Hamas and all this crap doesn't mean that they don't like Jews. It's a completely different story. So in two parts, he probably didn't come away, and it's a goofy cause, but a goofy cause that's viral. So I understand from that perspective why that would be like part of
Mm,
the narrative to get people to pay attention, especially in New York, which obviously has a large Jewish population.
okay, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. I did find a little bit more context here. So actually, you know what? Let's see if I can pull this up because this could be interesting here. There's a bit of a visual here, which is freaking wild to see. I don't know if you guys have seen this. Hold up here. All right, here we go. Rug alert. Eric Adams, New York City token, NYC. Okay, so 70% of the total supply is held by a single wallet. The top 10 holders control a staggering 98.73% of the supply. This specific wallet here, linked to the dev, holds 2.5 million USDC at the peak and only put 1.5 million back after a 60% crash, effectively pocketing $1 million in profit. Adams promoted this as a tool to fight anti Semitism, but there is no official government backing or transparency on how funds are used. After hitting a $600 million market cap, the token plummeted below 100 million in minutes due to team sell-offs or team-led sell-offs. Multiple fake tokens were launching simultaneously to confuse buyers, while the official one remains a high-risk rug candidate. Like, look at that. Look at that. Like, t-
To be
tell
fair,
me
there
it's
are
a
a
rug
lot of
without telling me it's a
charts
rug.
of infrastructure project that look like the same way if you zoom out. Like,
Yeah, he actually, yeah, Quantic's actually right for sure.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So fun times. Thanks, people.
But not
Just
not surprised. I just think this is a little bit late. This is a little bit late, right? Like the Cole celebrity, like that's so 2025, guy. Okay, you're supposed to be making a fake AI meme token in 2026 or whatever.
right. Get with
Uh,
the times,
Come on,
Mayor
dude.
Adams. Oh, that's
What's the next
awesome.
one?
The next one, let's get to it here. So the next one is insane leveraged Fartcoin ape. A trader dumped $7.7 million into Fartcoin and $4.7 million into the pump token using 10x leverage on just $1.3 million in margin. It briefly pumped the price approximately 8% from 37 cents to 39 cents, but the liquid price sat dangerously at 0.36. Says here, pure degen, massive exposure on a fart theme meme coin with tiny collateral, either moonshot or instant wrecked. I'm curious what actually happened to this guy. I'll see if I could pull up a post here. We got look on chain,
I
basically
mean,
saying exactly that.
actually, perhaps you want to share like your screen, what you're seeing, so that people can read and get more context.
Yeah, for sure. Let's pull this up here. I also have 10,000 tabs. That's a number, right?
at least you're on real Wi-Fi, unlike me.
Here we go. Screen share. All right, so here's the actual post itself. Look on chain. If you guys don't follow this, it's a really helpful tool. It actually follows whale wallets and like posts about massive transactions. So the specific trader opened up 10x longs on 19.75 million Fartcoin, which is $7.676 million, and 2 billion pump tokens at a total value of 4.77 million over the past 2 hours. Top comment, big fart guy. Big fart guy. Here's the actual I guess Etherscan, whatever, not Etherscan, but
Solscan.
Yeah. So yeah, I'd be curious to know kind of the outcome of that. Let's see. Yeah, you guys are still seeing the screen here. Hey,
Yes,
so
sir.
here it is. Yeah, no, it only references look on chain, so I don't know what kind of came of that, but maybe
Yeah.
it's in the comments
Did
here.
it say what platform you used?
No, it did not.
But if Look
Oh,
on Chain is covering it, it must be like an on chain perps dex, kind of like, Hyperliquid or something. And so I'd be curious to, if we, and we don't have to do it right now, but I'd be curious to get their Sol address and
mhm.
vibe code like a tracker, like that tracks what that what that wallet is doing for the next couple weeks and just keep an
Yeah.
eye on it. We can kind of maybe like come back to this and be like, hey, like we covered this story last week or 2 weeks ago. This is like the result. Because at 10x leverage, I'm sure he's not. I don't. I'm sure he's not liquidated.
Yeah.
Um, and if you have a milli to put down on a leverage position, you have more to add to the margin to like prevent liquidation, right? So
Yes. No, I would say so as well.
but yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, definitely it'd be cool to find the address if
Oh
possible.
yeah. So it says it's on. That was the Hyperscan. So I'm
Of
guessing it's
course.
hyper liquid. So that makes a ton of
Okay.
sense.
Sick. And I know their Explorer is yeah, like we can definitely figure that out. This is gold. This is great
Yeah.
for us. I like that. Okay. Sick.
Perfect.
Here's a lesson. Don't do that.
Don't
Buy a
do it.
house. Buy a
Yeah, yeah.
house, dude.
Oh my
Or
god.
just buy Fartcoin without leverage if you really are that bullish. Who
Yeah.
knows? Maybe he knows something we don't, right? Maybe the Fartcoin ETF is coming
Probably.
soon.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. These things make news, and people like to follow whale transactions. I'll tell you that much here. Clearly, it pumped it. But yeah, you guys ready for number 3?
Yeah, hit me.
Epic. Okay, well, I'll show the last 5 or the last 3 here. So the Epic turnaround trade, $371 to 1.2 million on FOMO. So what the heck is this about? A spotlight on the wild flip, calling it one of the most insane trades ever. Oops, right here. Let me go up here to the actual thing. So Epic turnaround, one of the wildest reported. A trader flipped $371 into 1.2 million via a FOMO play, like a meme coin snipe or momentum trade, highlighted as the most insane trade in crypto seen recently. Peak degen luck skill combo in a week full of volatility. So let's see if we can pull up the post here. Here we go. So this is from Buggy. Wow. Only interesting where you get your stories here, Grok. So this trader turned, yeah, this is the white whale. That is, look at this P&L,
Insane.
291,000%.
I am cautious when I see stuff like this because we've seen this, all three of us have been in. We've seen these screenshots before, right? We've
Yeah,
seen the proof on chain, but like, and in Quantic, I almost guarantee you're gonna agree with me. Like, this is such an anomaly that it's almost, I don't want to say unbelievable, but most of the time, this is totally an insider, right? Like you have to be an insider to know
yeah,
where to put that small amount of funds in order to get that return. Whether he was, adjacent to the dev team or a creator that kind of had inside info. This is just how the game works, right? They put these big gain P&Ls in front of our face. I call it, it's basically P&L porn, essentially, right? Like the Wall Street Bets subreddit has the same thing, except for mostly the opposite direction, mostly for lost porn. Yeah, I just don't believe it, right? And to me, I think
yeah.
this is like a bad. I don't want to. I don't know, but like if you're new and you haven't really played in the trenches, like just understand that this is most likely an insider, and in order to do this, it's very very rare. I'm not saying it's not possible, but don't assume
Right.
that this is what's going to happen if you start to trade crypto.
Yeah, 100%. I wonder if this is all just a marketing ploy for FOMO, whatever platform this is. And market, because this guy clearly got 111,000 views. The guy only has 793 followers, yet his promo code is down here in the bottom right-hand corner. So who knows? Maybe he got paid. I don't
Yeah.
know. I think Grok took this prompt a little too literally when he went degen. He went like, who's making degen trades, and let's show those top
For
posts. Because if you
sure.
look at the next one, high level ETA or ETH short liquidation, a call out on a 25x leverage ETH short position teetering on the edge of liquidation. Yeah, no, I think maybe I'll refine the prompts next time. Maybe I'll try and expand on what exactly I mean by degen. So yeah, no, regardless, interesting news topics. Any thoughts there, Victor?
Not really. Like for me, this is not too interesting in general. But
Yeah,
I get it. Like there's a lot of thrill of playing with money like this, but I can just tell you that for each one of these very interesting, successful stories, there is like a thousand of other stories of people losing money. So
Of
yeah,
like the negative, right? Like
yeah,
there's more that out. Yeah, it definitely outweighs the positive, and people, the positive ones have more shareability, and not everybody also is gonna like say, "Hey, I've lost 50 grand in the trenches over the past 12 months." They're not
Yeah.
gonna. They're most likely embarrassed.
100%. 100%. Well, with that, why don't we pivot this entire conversation and get into vibe coding? Because, like, I think that's actually like if we're looking at a spectrum here, when you have degen trading on one side, vibe coding would be on the other side. Uh, yeah, no, I don't know where I was going
Or
with that,
degen
but
building, man. Degen building, like, and this is, I can say like I was and still do have the, like, I don't do it anymore, but I was a trench guy, right? Like I was in the spaces. Um, I was trying to network to be able to not to grow my network to like do cool stuff like I would if I was building, but to get in on the inside like info, right? To get in the scoop. And so I've taken that, and I and many others have taken that similar degen like mentality and said, you know what, like why rely on other people to do anything, right? Why
yeah,
don't we take control of our lives and um, realize that with AI, especially now with the newest models and all the different wrappers, which I'll talk about today, we're going to go over like two tools and then a workflow. Um, why don't I use these tools that are at my finger tips and build something sustainable, or build something that I can actually call my own, or use those skills to get yourself a gig, right? So
yeah.
before I jump in to kind of go what we're going to talk about today, I just want to kick it back to see if you guys have anything else to add before we jump in.
nothing to add. I think it's great this perspective of showing like, what people are watching online and the trends, and then showing what is the path that we are taking and we're trying to promote to our community here of trying to build something or improve their skills. I think this over prolonged periods of time, it makes immense difference. And yeah, super happy that we are all aligned here. So let's get into the meat and potatoes, Hobby.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, cool. Let me share my screen here.
I was not, I was hoping that was a different sound. I was hoping that was a drum roll. There we go. All right, what do we got?
Okay, cool. So this is a framework, and I was telling these guys right at the beginning, or I was telling you at the, Mr. or Mrs. Listener, or viewer. This framework is basically what I do every single time I build anything with whatever, whether it's Claude Code or Cursor, and we'll talk about that. I do have it labeled Web3 Matters Vibe Coding Framework, but by no means do we claim this workflow. It's pretty straightforward. So, what isn't on here is to pick your tool, and I'm going to briefly touch on Cursor and Claude Code. Maybe the two most popular ones that are out there right now. I like to use both depending on for what, but Claude Code has been going viral right now. So let's pretend you've already picked a code, right? So if you're listening or watching right now, put yourself uh, through this is going to be through the lens of you. Okay, so you're building this, right? So you have an idea, and for the sake of the demo, I came up with an idea called an AI meal calorie tracker, right? It's just something simple to show off for a demo. So you have your idea, and then you're going to make a product requirement document, PRD, and we'll dive a little bit into that. But then you take that PRD, make a plan. Once you've made the plan files, you're going to have your AI build it for you, test, and then based on your tests, you're going to do like an iteration loop where you're kind of like fixing things and coming back or changing, so on and so forth. But in the simplest terms, it's idea, plan, build. Super,
Mhm.
super simple. It's a lot of the times I've gone, I'm like, oh, I want to build something, but I don't really like have a good idea. I hadn't like spent enough time in the ideation phase. Okay. So all good there. No questions.
All good there. Yeah, I'm
No
glad that you
questions.
explained it very, very simply. Already in my brain, I was getting a little bit uh, distracted, maybe is the word, when with words
Sure.
like PRD,
hmm
this env vars. No idea what that
Yeah.
is.
So we're going to go over that too.
Oh,
That's
envision
environment
variables?
variables.
Oh, environment variables. There we go.
Environment variables. Yep,
There we go.
yep.
Okay.
So we'll
Regardless,
go over
we're good.
that as well. So yeah, I totally get you. PRD or any acronyms start to become like intimidating, but don't let that intimidate you. So here is, and let me exit this guy out. So here is the idea, right? So in another chat, I was thinking about the idea. I said, okay, I want to do something for a demo. And these are kind of the requirements of the idea. But let's assume you already had an idea and you came and you wrote a product description. Okay, pretty straightforward. Anybody can write this. There's no technical jargon. So this is a AI meal calorie tracker, a minimal meal tracker for people who don't want to manually look up calories or use like bloated fitness apps. And if anyone's tried, probably you know that there's a lot of like crappy fitness or crappy like health related applications out there. And in my opinion, this is the future of vibe coding. Not to make an app that makes 10K MMR, but to make something that you for yourself that's custom to you that you don't have to pay somebody $20 a month to use, right? So we're going to actually use AI inside the app, which is super easy. You just get a code, and I'll tell you about that later. That like if so Quantic, if you ate a chicken burrito with rice and cheese or scrambled eggs and toast, you're just going to type that in, and the app uses AI with my Anthropic API key to interpret the meal, estimate the calories, and return a single calorie number with some messaging, right? Some details. You can accept the estimate, you can edit it, so on and so forth, basically to track your food intake, right? So honestly, this is a good idea for me because I've gained a little bit of weight and I'm about 2 weeks into a new diet where I'm fasting and stuff. So this, I might actually, complete this actual build and use it. So what I did here, so again, this is step one, right? We're in our idea phase. So I thought about it for a little bit and I wrote a product description. And then at the top of this product description, I just said ingest the following context and ask me no more than 5 questions to create a PRD. So I wrote the description and I'm telling the AI to help me make this idea more concrete, right? And so it asked me these 5 questions, platform, data storage, daily behavior rules, input, and the business model. If you don't know, and this is very important, especially for beginners, if you don't know the answers or what's best, you can just tell the AI to make the decision for you. Especially if you've never done this before, feel free to give more power to the AI. Just ask for it to give you explanations that are like noob or beginner friendly. That's the key. So I answered the questions, web app, it's just a demo. And so we're going to fire this off. And right now, this ChatGPT here is going to build our PRD. So I'll stop there on the PRD and I'm going to switch over to this doc. So PRD, product requirements doc, in plain English, what am I building? Who is it for? And what does done mean? What is definition of done? So that's really important because then your AI knows when to stop. Why is this important? AI is super dumb without the right context. And if you have a bad PRD, we've all heard the expression garbage in, garbage out.
Right.
So if you have bad PRD, garbage is going to come out. So this is how you stop vibe coding into a ditch, which basically means wasting money and having this like zombie folder on your computer, right? So
So
bare minimum. Go ahead.
here I want to address 2 things. One is about how Trav is feeling with regards to the things that you have communicated. Are you
Yes.
overwhelming or are you okay to actually follow this and you apply it for vibe coding?
Yeah, no, actually, you know what? I am following. This makes a ton of
Okay.
sense. I appreciate how you kind of initially laid it out in kind of a very high level overview first. And I appreciate how, coming into understanding what a PRD is actually a lot more simple than I thought. It's like the pre-stage for the actual planning, if I'm interpreting
Right.
that correctly.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
and like something like this, I would have never thought of doing something like this, like giving context, giving an end, like a stop point. It just,
Like the definition of done.
yeah, 100%. Like I would have never done this. So I'm glad. No, really well explained so far.
Thank you. Well, I've got the arrows in my back, you guys. So for you, Trav, and for anybody listening, for Quantic, like I've made a lot of mistakes doing this. Again, I talk about it all the time. I was vibe coding before vibe coding was a term, and I was copy pasting code blocks. So I've made a
Yeah,
lot
so
of this mistakes that
just
everybody will.
here's my other question for you, Kobe, now, which is, how do you feel that people should address this when they're starting because there is money involved, right? Like when you're vibe coding, if you use any AI tool, one way or another, you probably are gonna hit a wall in which you have to spend some money. So how do
Mhm.
I address that? Because I honestly I don't want to spend too much money close to zero if I'm just learning, right? So what's your
Exactly.
advice?
My advice is to spend more time planning. And
Okay.
that's why I do. That's why I spend more time planning. And again, of like I am using my paid ChatGPT account that pay $20 a month for. But you can. There's a lot of AI tools out there, LLMs, where you can get like at least one or two free conversations per month. So spend and honestly, you can use any model for the PRD. So in short, my answer is plan better or plan more thoroughly. So once you get into Cursor or Claude Code, you're gonna spend a substantially amount of money less because those reasoning that the AI does, it's not gonna have to reason because you've already done the reasoning for it. So
Gotcha.
you know what I mean. So those decisions and kind of side quests, it won't have to go on because you've given it these guardrails. Was that sufficient? You think?
Yeah, I think it's super clear for me. I think
Cool.
that we need to put this into action and show some examples. So let's keep moving.
Okay, absolutely. And so this is what I'm doing right now is turn the step three is to turn the PRD into a plan. So we'll jump back over here. We've got yes, right, the PRD. I hate that ChatGPT does this sometimes. So it's writing the PRD now. I've answered the questions, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this PRD once it's done. I've opened a new cursor project, so I'm actually gonna take a pause there for tool selection. Okay, just to make it easy for you,
Can I
Trav,
ask,
I'm just going
can
to
I ask,
pretend that this is 100% for you. Okay.
I love it. Can I ask a quick question
So,
first?
please, yeah.
Will I or we, the audience, be able to gain access to these prompts at the end of the show?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I
I
can
love it.
definitely share these. And they're pretty like boilerplate, so they're
Yeah,
but absolutely, I'll share them. Maybe they can have kind of fill in the blank here, portions of the prompt. 100%. Yep.
I love it. Okay.
S-
So if you guys want
Okay.
this, drop a comment underneath the live stream here and we will hook you up.
Absolutely, absolutely. So it's still making the PRD. The key here is the reason it's so long is that I gave it a lot of info and answered these questions. So once that's done, which it should be done soon, we're going to jump over into Cursor. What I would suggest, if you've never done this, honestly, skip Lovable, skip Replit, skip V0 or VO, all these web-based tools, and just go right into Cursor. They've implemented a ton of tools to actually mirror that kind of web-based experience. So especially if it's your first time starting Cursor, it's a free download, right? So in terms of spending money, like Quantic said, you're not going to have to there.
In
Sweet.
Cursor,
So our
when
PR,
I do it for free, I have a few like tries that I can do for free, no at no cost, right?
correct, correct. And after you use up those free, and I told Trav this before as well, after you use up those free prompts or those free, sessions, there's actually right now, Grok Code has been free, 100% free inside of Cursor. It's not the world's best model, but it's really, really fast and it's good enough. So you can use Grok Code for 100% free. So
Wow.
that would be a great place to start for certainly. So what I did
And
here,
sorry, if you post about your product and say that it's made on Grok, maybe Elon will give you a repost.
and he has been doing that, right?
Yeah.
He's like, hey, this was built with Grok. So that's actually a really, really good point. So so we've made our PRD again. This is going to have a lot of the goals. Think about it as a pitch deck. So once you're in Cursor, there's this little chat right here. If you want, you can switch to this view, and it's a little bit more familiar to somebody like Trav, right? So let's write a simple prompt. Take the when you go at sign to tag a file, take the PRD and make a 5-phase plan file that's detailed enough for an AI agent to complete the app, to complete each phase without any additional context. This is an important thing to put. You want to make sure these plans don't require the AI to go out and search, to go out and reason more. And it goes back to your question, Quantic. If you say something like this is going to ensure that you're spending less tokens and ultimately spending less money. So let's fire that off.
So why 5-phase?
Great question. So bigger the app, the more phases you probably want. Sometimes I do 10. Um, 5 just seems like it makes sense, right? Usually step 1, it's going to like scaffold or create the files in the project. Like if you're a painter, or let's do a video editing one. If you're a video editing one, maybe your first phase is putting all your raw footage in there, like uploading it into DaVinci Resolve, and deciding what clips you're going to use or what
Mm.
parts of that raw recording you're going to use. And then maybe a second phase would be to think about the character and the vibe and so on and so forth, and ultimately to complete the video editing.
Okay,
So
so it's
there's
like
no one right
mm.
answer, I guess.
So two kind of afterthoughts here, or the first one is this is kind of something that you'll learn the more you vibe code. You'll kind of gain that intuition on how many phases might be required to set this up. And then
Exactly.
two, it's almost analogous to the word steps. Like if I'm looking in editing videos, I would have like, let's say 7 steps for a short video edit, including like uploading the video, cutting the video, color grading, add captions, add B-roll, go sort of thing.
Yeah.
Is that
No, that's accurate. And each like phase, like even in your example, you're gonna have subtasks maybe within those steps, right? So that's kind of the way I look at it, is like each phase is a step, but then there's tasks with inside of that step, right?
mhm,
Um, so yeah, 100%. And I did skip some of the technical stuff, but again, I wanted to make this as very like approachable as possible. I put like the tech stack. Like sometimes if you're making a PRD, your AI might ask you, do you want to use TypeScript? Do you want to use Rust? What language? And it's going to usually default to JavaScript and React. Which, if you don't know what that means, ignore it. It doesn't matter at all.
doesn't matter. I
So
love it.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Now
yeah.
you're
So
speaking my
it's make
language.
yeah, exactly. Especially okay, cool. And it's making phase 5, so we're almost done here. But
Cool.
especially for your first one, don't feel bad because you never want to probably launch the very first thing you make, which like I did. Like I launched a prediction market when with copy pasted code from ChatGPT 4.0. Hey, it worked. And luckily I didn't have a bunch of users because something probably bad would have happened. Um, so build your first thing with the intention of not actually launching it. That's my biggest piece of advice. So while that's finishing, let's just recap. So we've already gone through our idea, right? We gave the idea to an AI and we asked it to build a PRD, a product requirement doc. It's fine if that's intimidating to you. You just make the thing, tell the AI to ask you questions, and then once that's completed, you're going to ask the AI to then make a plan. And so that's what phase that we're in right now. And so it should be done. Yep. Cool. So we'll just review here. So we've got our meal calorie tracker implementation plan. So see about tech stack, it already it assumed the tech
Ah,
stack. This is probably what I would have picked anyways. Phases, it's got our project setup, like I said, data layer and local storage, AI integration, history and settings, polish and accessibility. So now here's something that a lot of people don't do. Instead of asking the same agent to start building the plan, if you see down in the bottom right corner, it's kind of small and hard to see, but we've used 29% of our context window already. And so if you don't know what that means, you only have so much area or space that you can talk to an AI before it gets dumb. After about
mm,
60%, it starts to get dumb. So
okay.
your results are going to be substantially. And for you, Trav, even when you're like going back and forth regular in Quantic, he's probably noticed this. You've noticed this. The longer your convo is, the worse output that you're going to get.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
I
So
noticed
I'm
that when
going to say,
making images and making videos as well. You tend to lose the prompt, or you get lost, or I don't know how to say it, but
lost in the
yes,
sauce, right? Yeah,
lost in the sauce. There you go.
it's like if
Well
you were
said.
doing a 10-page research paper, right? If
Mm,
you tried to do all of that in one night without any resets or without any sleep, you're probably, the later into the night it gets, the worse your writing is going to get.
yeah, makes a ton of sense.
Um, and so I'm actually going to have this agent write me a prompt for another agent to build the app all in one shot. Okay.
Oh
So instead
wow.
of
Okay.
spending the time to, blah, 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 giving it all this detail, it's going to Um, Wait a minute. Okay, it's going to just make the prompt for me. So I usually also tell it to do it in the chat so it doesn't make another file, but no big deal. So
Okay.
um,
So that's pretty
this
cool. I like that. Crap. So
it's
when you
like a little
say,
hack. I
yeah,
don't know.
so when you say agent, so for
Yeah.
example, this conversation is with one agent, and then so would you still be using cursor and just kind of opening a new chat essentially?
Yeah. Yes,
Okay.
sir. So up in this right-hand corner, there's a plus sign, and let's
Mhm.
open the prompt file over here. There's a plus sign, so you just create a new chat. So just like on ChatGPT or Claude or anything, you're going to have multiple chat, like a chat history,
That makes sense.
right?
Okay.
So, and technically, your ChatGPT or Claude or Grok, they're technically an agent if they have tools, right? So Grok was searching Twitter or searching online. He's doing tools, right? So that
Mhm.
makes him an agent, not a chatbot.
Okay.
And so I'm just saying prompt is in the build prompt. Complete all 5 phases without stopping. Review the plan and prompt and go.
And go.
You
I love
are
it.
a Chad. Why not?
That's awesome. So maybe while this is loading, do you mind if I just take 2 seconds? I'm just going to reset the room here.
Please
I just
do.
want to
Please do.
welcome everyone. We are just about at, actually between all of our accounts, we are over 100 viewers right now. So I just want to thank you guys for joining us today. My name is Trav. We have Kobe and we've got Victor slash Quantic. I'll never stop doing that, by the way. I just, that's part of me now. I'm sorry
That's
to
how it
nobody.
works.
This is how it
That's
works.
how it
Exactly.
works.
Together, we are Web3 Matters. Also, not sorry about that either. Today, honestly, this is a episode I have needed now for a very, very long time. If you guys have any interest in vibe coding, and honestly, you should, even if you don't want to build a product to sell, build apps for yourself to make your life better and ones that you don't have to pay X amount of dollars a month to use. It's absolutely worth it. So if you guys are interested in that at all, we are literally walking you through step by step on how to actually do that. And for our example today, we are building essentially a calorie counter with AI integration, if I understood that correctly. So if you guys are, if one of your New Year's resolutions is to, lose some weight or just monitor your calories for, an exercise regimen or whatever this may be, this may work perfectly for you. Plus, it's a high level app that you can then customize for yourself and you have to pay $0 for. Why wouldn't you want to look after this? If you guys are just jumping in now, you'll be able to absolutely watch the replay once we are done our live stream. You can either watch it from here or YT. I won't say the name. I don't want to get nerfed. But yes, that's about it here. So back at it, Kobe. So maybe just summarize what we've done so far and summarize where we're at in the process, and then we'll just keep at it.
Yeah, absolutely. So just to, high level, we're basically showing you how to vibe code in 2026 in the most simple for beginners, right? How to vibe code in 2026 for beginners. If you've never done this before, these are the 6 steps that you just want to keep in your brain. It's really nice, at least for me, to have a high level overview. So again, we all have ideas. Once you have an idea, you're gonna nail it in a requirements document. So that just means what the app is, what it does, how the users, kind of a user journey, right? Then you take that PRD and you're going to turn it into a plan, which we've already done. And then currently we're on step 4, which is the build phase. Okay, so right now we've got this agent over here in Cursor and he's doing its thing. If you remember, Trav, this was these were all empty over here. There was no files here. So now it's created or initialized a project. So this is kind of the skeleton or the as we like to say, the meat and potatoes of this project.
I love it.
So
So,
if you go
one
down
quick
here,
question
it's
here,
making all these.
Kobe.
Yeah.
Um, in this process, is this the first time that you are doing this particular app, or you have tested this, or are you just like improvising as we move along?
Yeah, so I came up with this idea this morning for the app. But I've done a couple trackers before. Like I did like I know it sounds corny, but like a mood tracker. If you have an
Right.
iPhone, you have that like mood app that you can like say, hey, this is how I'm feeling today. So I made one of those. I've made like attempted some like project management tools. this to me is kind of in that same family. And again, for the listeners, if you guys don't remember, it's a meal tracker, right? So like it's gonna have AI integrated. So when you put in the meal, it's gonna like figure out, estimate the calories, and then track them for you, so you can try to lose weight or try to gain weight, whatever you're trying to do.
That's so cool.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And so I know that a lot of people in the audience have had ideas in the past, Castra, right? Our Web3 Matters team member, and some of his friends, that we've worked together with in the past have had a ton of ideas. And this was maybe, a year and a half ago, where the tools weren't as good. So right now, in this first couple of weeks of 2026, the tools are actually good enough. Opus 4.5, the new Anthropic model, it's the closest thing to AGI that we've got since AI was a thing. So, and I'm not just being like hype or anything like that. Like, it's actually blows me away.
That's so cool.
Yes.
That's yeah, no,
I
I'm
think so too.
just to kind of add a little bit of my own personal backstory here to relate to anyone who's brand new and questioning whether this is something that you want to do or should do or whatever. So my first experience vibe coding actually was building the Web 2 game. That was a lot of fun here. I didn't actually get to the point where I published anything. So the next use case that I really wanted to figure out was building an automated overlay for like OBS, like for live streams. Something that I can put on the live stream, something that actually moved, that would update, that would have data, all these cool different things. And I just realized that I didn't want to
Bro,
actually spend any money to do that. Like that
well,
would have been
let's
so
build that. What are you
let's build it.
talking about?
I built one. It wasn't the greatest, but I built one. And
Do
I
you
had
Can you show
no
us or no?
I think I've lost it. I have
Okay,
no
that's fine.
idea
That's
how the
fine.
heck I'm gonna find. I don't even remember what apps I used, but I essentially started the conversation with ChatGPT, being like, "I have no idea what the hell no idea what the hell I'm doing, but here's what I want to build. How do I
Hold on,
get
let me stop
started?"
you. That's
Yes,
the absolute best way to do it, bro. I've been doing this
yes,
for over a year and a half, and that is still how I start a
I
lot of
love
my
it.
conversations. When like that is still like step zero over here,
Yeah,
right?
that's
Or
super
step
cool.
0.1 of idea. So, dude, that's exact. Keep doing that.
I will,
Stay
but you know what?
humble and do that.
Now that I have watched this up until this point, I will still do that. But I'm also going to include this PRD. I'm also going to include that 5 phase prompt that you
Hmm.
mentioned.
Yep.
And I think that's just going to make this a heck of a lot easier. Plus, I'm going to use Cursor. I don't think I used Cursor before. So
Like
that
Lovable
makes,
or something like that before.
I don't remember.
Yeah,
I got
but web
nothing
based
else.
probably, right? Yeah,
Yes, it was web based. It was web based.
right.
So yeah, no, like the alpha that you're dropping for us is like extremely useful. Plus that whole context window is massive as well, because I noticed that as I was trying to build it, like, I wanted it to glow a little bit more. I wanted it to be a little bit more
Hmm.
animated. And then after like 2 or 3 renditions, it was just getting further and further away from what I was wanting. So like start taking like a PRD and dropping it into a brand new bot, like a brand new agent, like that's huge. That's huge advice. What do we got
Oh,
here?
I was trying to, while the AI I think is just starting phase 5, so it's almost done.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, the best maybe way to show it is, yeah. I mean, that first, especially with, never mind. I was gonna draw it out, but especially with the you 60% is usually when I wrap it up. So
Mm,
the Claude models will, they call it compact, but you're losing context. So the best thing is to kind of know, or start to feel it's tough inside Grok or something, but
mm,
inside Cursor, even if you're just having a regular convo, you're going to get this ring at the bottom. So the more you use Cursor, you'll kind of understand. Like when I'm in ChatGPT, there's no ring, but I
mm,
know, or I can feel, okay, we're probably getting close to the end of the context window. My expectations on the output of this AI need to lower, or I need to
mm.
start a new chat. And so I usually just start a new chat. Sometimes, Trav, what I'll do is I'll ask the AI, hey, compact the context from this conversation so I can start a new chat and pick up where we've left off. And it's going to
Mm,
give a little bit of a thing. It's going to give kind of the context, and you paste that at the top of your prompt in the next chat, and then you continue on. Part two to that little alpha is to do you in ChatGPT or in Claude, you can create projects, right? Whale from Flare Forward for their DeFi tracker app, and we had them on last week. We've had them on a few other times. We've had many late night vibe coding sessions, and I miss them. I would like to get back to them with him, but he has a huge ChatGPT project for that app. So whenever he's like talking or ideating or saying things like what you said, Trav, like, oh, I want to add a feature, but I have no idea what the hell, where I would start. He goes into that project inside ChatGPT and it kind of has like a rough idea of what of their app, right? So that's kind of one way to keep all your ideas together as well. Let's build that
okay,
overlay.
let's do it. I'm down. That'd be so fun.
Hmm.
Yeah, no, I would love to do that. I want to give it a second go after having participated in this
Right.
live stream here today.
Right. And we could even do it on stream or record ourselves doing it for a video. That would be really cool.
That'd be a
Um,
blast.
so we're actually done. So the AI has finished all 5 phases
Okay,
and it
can I jump in
is
real
building.
quick?
Yeah, yeah,
This is
yeah.
what I'm curious about. How do we actually take this code and
Oh,
translate it into an actual app? This is what
yes.
I'm
So
Exactly
very
the
curious
question
about.
I was going to ask, because let me add something there, Kobe and Trav, which is a lot of people, they don't even get started with the coding part because they don't have the full understanding on their mind of what to do. Like, even if they go and download the stuff to code with Cursor or whatever, then what happens next? If they don't have that clarity up front, they probably are not going to start in many cases.
100%.
absolutely.
Can I guess? Is this when GitHub comes in? Is this where GitHub comes in?
Yes. Yes, he's
Okay.
learning. He's learning, Q. You see this? We amazing, dude.
You're
Amazing.
beating it into me.
Right. Yeah, dude. My pleasure. So if that's one way to, yeah, so I had the AI already create a local Git repository. But let's do, so there's a button here. Okay, so this is going to be step one to answering your guys' question. How do we take this from code to a live demo, right? And we're not even going to waste time looking at how it looks in the term or in the local host. We're just going to move forward. So I'm going to have the AI write a commit message here. And so once that's done, we're going to, okay, let's just do a init commit, whatever. This is where you would type like, okay, these are the things we did in the, why is Eliza on there? What the heck? Okay. So anyways, we would publish this branch after you're connected your Cursor account to GitHub. Okay, so all GitHub is it is a place where your code base lives, right? So if I go to my profile, it's going to show all my repositories here, right? So here's a compression image compression tool that I built. Here's the exact same code that's in Cursor. Okay, so that's step one. GitHub is completely free for most people, right? Unless you're doing some crazy stuff like me. I pay $10 a month, but I have AI code review like built into my GitHub. So that's step
That's
one.
cool.
Step, yeah, I think so too. I forgot I had it. I'm like, oh crap, why am I not doing this? Step two, again, this is the most user-friendly version that I can think of. Step two is you're going to attach that GitHub repository to a project on a website called Vercel.
Ah,
That's
I did this.
VER.
It's all coming back. Sorry,
Ah,
go ahead.
okay,
Yes,
that's
yes.
awesome. So
I
yeah,
have a
step
GitHub
two,
account
you
too. What?
sick. Let's
Wait.
go.
Trav, how was that experience? Like, did you figure it out on your own? Did you have to prompt it? Did you use Web3 Matter content?
I use Web3 Matter content just as like okay, I know GitHub's gonna have to be involved, but I don't
Right.
exactly know how. And then I like
Okay.
prompted, I had to dumb it down several orders of magnitude and um actually get ChatGPT to like hold my hand through the process. And I failed the first 2 times. And so I'm like, okay, I need to make this process even easier. So it took it from like 3 steps down to 1 step. And initially there was going to be all these different files or uploads that needed to happen, but it got it all down to one as like an HTML something or other. And in the end, it worked. But I never actually tried to use it as an overlay. That's the one part that's kind of outside of vibe coding that I still need to figure out. And that's kind of figuring it out on the OBS side. But
Right.
but yeah, I had to
And
dumb
like,
it down very, very deeply. But I have a better understanding of it now, so that the next time I do it, I might feel brave enough to try some of these more complex uploads here. So we'll see how it goes.
sick, dude, sick. Well, yeah, let's circle back on that because this almost goes back to Quantic's first question. How do you not spend a bunch of money? What if money is your limitation for your idea? And I've gone through times where that's been my limitation. So I was forced to figure out how can I, as the idea guy, right? Sam Altman said, where it's the era of the idea guy. How can I, as the idea guy, optimize my workflow so I'm not giving these scumbag AI bros all my money, right?
Yeah.
Spending all or most of your time in these two steps, the first two steps. Forget about building or planning or testing. Forget about those until you have a rock solid idea. It doesn't have to be an idea that's going to make you a bunch of money or be the best app in the world. But when I say a rock solid idea, I mean that you have asked the AI and you figured out what are these weird variables or these kind of edge things that I need to think about. The reason that made me think of that, Trav, is you started building before, and this isn't any knock on you. This is, I've done this, and this is a comment before thinking about the end result, right? Which the end result
100%.
is the user journey. Is like, Trav, you are the user. How do I use this on stream inside of OBS or inside of StreamYard or whatever it might be?
Mhm.
In theory, you're going to want to figure that out before you even write a PRD, right? That
Mhm.
way, you're making your PRD, your product requirements document, based on the end result, not based on the idea, right? So in theory,
Mhm.
you could have another note out here where you write, user using the app or doing the thing, So my biggest advice is spend all your time here. Let the AI do this. Your brain does this.
I love that. That sounds really cool. That man makes a ton of sense too. You're almost getting more of that context into your own brain as well, so you have a better idea of the questions that you actually need to ask. So that makes
Exactly.
sense.
Exactly. Yeah, it does. It does. It does. Because you might even switch to Google, right?
I
Like you
might.
might even switch to Google and let's see, push this to a remote repo, and start looking at forums and kind of going away from the AI. Like, how are other? Maybe there's a subreddit called, slash, um, the what's the software? The streaming
Mm,
StreamYard, or what's the other one?
yeah, Riverside.
Yeah, maybe there's people talking about that, right? So
Mhm.
once you've
Or
created
OBS. Was it OBS that you were talking about?
OBS, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm having the AI. So this is a great example of a beginner workflow. So I didn't want to manually do all this over here because it kind of used a previous like parent folder as the repository. So I
Mhm.
just told it, hey man, this is my problem, fix it, right? And I'm using
Mhm.
Grok Code, so this is the free one
Oh wow!
um, that it created. So let's go over to my GitHub and let's see if it actually created it. Um,
Look at that handsome man.
yeah, thank
That
you.
activity on GitHub, that's what I'm looking at.
Let's go, dude. 1069. I should stop
What?
there, dude. I should stop while it's at 69 before I. But yeah, man, I'm filling up my chart. So let's I'm having some issues here. I have to like authorize and put my password in, so I don't want to show my password on stream. So we're gonna just use a let's use a different repository, right? So imagine this is the app. This is how it's going to look on GitHub. Doesn't matter what it is. You're going to have a README. This is going to be like human readable stuff. You're going to take this GitHub. You're going to leave it. You're going to open another tab, go to Vercel, and you're going to add new, add project. This costs no money, by the way. Okay. So we're going to search for compression, Kobe compression tool, right? So we import that and then we hit deploy. It's that simple. So that's going to connect your GitHub repository. And by the way, I've already like signed, like attached my Vercel to GitHub, right? So the two accounts, I've like authorized them. You're going to connect. So it's connecting that GitHub repo with the Vercel. GitHub is your storage. It's your storage locker, right? If you ever moved and had to put stuff in a storage locker, you had to rent that out. So that's where your code lives. And Vercel is the hosting platform. So Vercel might be the office at the storage lot that runs all of the storage units, okay? And then it distributes it out to maybe their website or something like that. So that's the way that I look at it. GitHub storage, Vercel hosting. Very, very simple concept there. So right now it's deploying, and of course this one might, not compile, which is totally fine, because I'll show you guys in another episode, and maybe in some other content in the future, how to fix that if it doesn't. Yeah, deployment failed, probably because I haven't touched this project for 10 weeks, but no big deal. Okay, so once you do have a project that's compiled over there, let's look at the most recent Vercel project that I have. So this is a website I made for a client. It's just going to show the deployment, right? And if you don't have to buy a domain to send it to your friends to be like, if Trav builds the thing and he's like, hey Kobe, check this out. He doesn't have to go spend the money, one, for a Vercel account, and two, for a domain. So again, there's another example that money is not your limiter here. So you can click on the domain right there, and it's going to bring up this website that I built, and this is coming directly from the GitHub
Amazing.
storage.
This is amazing, Kobe.
That's so
Thank you.
cool.
Thank you.
So I think in honor of time, we need to start like summarizing things.
Yeah.
Trav, do you want to take the lead on this?
Sure. Yeah. Sorry, I got distracted. I started pulling up my Vercel account to see if I could pull up the
Yeah, you
OBS
should,
overlay.
like, while we are doing this, I'm like, can I just byte code something real quick here?
Yeah.
It's not advisable. I mean, for us, right, that we are hosting. For the people in our
Right.
audience, if you're watching this, you have to be with cursor open. It costs like $0. We just show you the entire workflow for free. We're gonna give you the prompts. It's just about you taking action, right?
Yes.
So, okay, I'll take the initiative now to summarize things. What do we need to do next? How do we finish this flow, Kobe? And are we going to even be able to finish this today or not?
Well, no, if you give me a couple minutes, I could maybe try to fix the Git situation. This isn't normal. This is because I have weird files on my computer. This is not normal. When you initialize a
Okay.
project, it should just recognize that that's the root of the project. But anyways, getting too technical
But
there.
no, I think, actually, I think this is good because I'm pretty sure that this is an issue that other people might randomly find at some point. Perhaps not all of our viewers today, but it would be nice that you take perhaps a few minutes during the week and document how you actually solve this. And next week
Yeah.
we can come back and show this is the exact issue that we have, and this is how we solve it. Because, let's be honest, we are vibe coding from scratch in 2026 and teaching everyone how to do this. And the best way to, provide you all the insights is go over the painful part, which is when bugs like this that
Yes.
sound like random actually takes place. How do you solve that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That's
no, that's a
super cool.
great point. That's a great point because you're not always going to get it perfect. If honestly, if Trav did this though, he wouldn't run into that problem. And I think our process was pretty airtight. But yeah, it's because I have that weird kind of edge case. But edge cases are what keep people from moving forward because they can't understand it. It stopped me in the past. So yes, 100%. I will, and I could even, if I unshare my screen, I could probably even try to bang it out real quick in like 2 minutes. But this is the front end of the app that we built, by the way. It's very simple, but it's very clean. It's Claude is very like pretty solid at front end. So you would type in your what you ate, you would click that, and then it's going to give you the calories. And then this history is where
Oh,
it
wow.
logs. And then here's some settings, right? So you could export the data if you wanted to as well.
Whoa.
So yeah,
That's
I
super
just really
cool.
like the clean. I like the font choice. I need to figure out what font
Yeah.
that is. But yeah, let me unshare my screen and debug like a demon here.
Okay, and while you're doing that, I'll share my screen and I'll give you guys an idea on the difference between how much I've uploaded to GitHub versus how much Kobe has uploaded to GitHub. So if you guys remember that little green chart with all the chart with all the little green squares, the denser the square, the more that he's uploaded. I think he had over 1,069, actually exactly 1,069 uploads. Here's how much I have. Oh, wait, 12. Hey, I'm into it. I got one little green square. How do you like me now? You're muted there, Kobe, if I don't know. Anyways. Yeah, no, we'll leave it
Sorry,
at that.
sorry.
It's great. It's great, Trav. Just keep it. Like, let's do a challenge, and that this week you actually improve your GitHub in terms of activity.
I will. I will build something this week. And I'm not sure what it will be yet, but it's going to be something. And I'm excited about it. Maybe over the weekend I'll do it, actually. We'll see what we can build here.
Let's go. If you post about it, let us know. We will try to help, and we will use Web3 Matters account to amplify, because one thing that I want to push this year in 2026 for Web3 Matters is the community aspect. We do have always people that are chatting with us on the M's, that are watching our live stream every single week. We are here at 4 p.m. UTC. But I want to push more on the community side, so that we actually engage with people that are building alongside us, and of course we have to lead by example.
I love that. Let's definitely do it. So yeah, if you guys have watched this today and you are inspired to build something, please let us know. We will absolutely amplify that. We will definitely give you guys some more views. We'd love to have conversation with you guys about it. How did you find the process that Kobe shared with us today? Is there anything that you guys didn't fully understand? Was there anything that you guys want to understand more about? Is there anything that you tried that didn't work out for you, and you need things to be tweaked a little bit? We want to work with you guys, and if your wins are our wins essentially, and that fires us right up here. So definitely let us know. I will definitely lead by example and try to build something pretty cool. I don't know what it's going to be, like I said, but I'm sure there's a cool idea out there. And I feel like that ideation process, and that's one of the big takeaways I'm taking from our live stream today. That ideation process, like, it seems like it's like 80% of the entire process. If you spend the most time coming up with a plan, keeping the end goal in mind, giving that context to ChatGPT on like, okay, here's where you can stop. Like that's a huge part of it. And in order to get that to happen, you need to spend that time having that conversation with ChatGPT. And I genuinely feel like I am ready to do that. I am capable to do that after our live stream today. Kobe, there's steam coming out of your ears. You are working so hard right now. I can see those gears grinding like a furious beast. I love to see it. I'll only let you talk when you were done and when you were ready, so we are not going to distract you here. Victor, what was the last thing that you vibe coded?
Internal things for Proofrails, which reminds me that we have I'm always testing things. I have an alt account because I get people watching me, right? On GitHub as well.
I'm watching you.
I have my alt accounts. I do random stuff. I never publish things that I'm doing sometimes because I don't know, whatever reason. So yeah, that was the last thing. Yeah, I know that there are people watching. And okay, that reminds me actually, Trav, that we have a live bounty in which I'm actually sponsoring 4 Proofrails for people that want to come, and you can buy code your own application, use Proofrails as part of the features or whatever, or as part of your backend, and win part of the pool prize that we have. That is, I think, 40,000 FLR at this moment. It's not bad, right?
Yeah.
Just for 5 coding during the weekend. Actually, I want to invite you, Kobe, to send the application that you already built. I think that would qualify. And we're going to be checking and displaying all of these apps at the end. You have until the end of January to send your vibe coded app. I mean, if you don't vibe code it, it's fine, right? Just want to highlight that as well. But yeah, super excited about it.
That's super cool. Okay, sick. I love that. How can people get their hands on Proofrails and learn more about that?
So go to the X page, Proofrails, pretty straightforward. There you will find the pin post and has the direct link to GitHub. Then you go there, fork that, open that on Cursor and tell, what can I build on top of it? And you can even spin up a front end easily. I have tried 1,000 times. And then you can submit that, right? Hopefully you do something a little bit more creative. A lot of people are asking us about more things for the payment stack, since this is like for compliance and banking and all that. More people are asking about privacy solutions. That's why the other day I tweeted about this, and more people are asking about, well, what other things I can do with it. My answer is figure it out. You can ask the AI, and there is at least, we gave on the bounty at least 5 different ideas of things that you can build on top.
That's super cool. Okay, I love it. Here we go. A new bounty is live on Flare Hub, created by
Even
Flare
though I
Africa.
cannot reach it, draft to it.
What's that? Sorry.
I can see
I'm
it.
just, I'm just kidding. I was just
Oh,
saying, give it a like
think
and a retweet because you were there on X.
I will. I'm on it right
yeah,
now.
we'll repost it too. The Web3 Matters will repost it
Yeah,
as well. But
we
yeah,
should
I'm
do.
100%. I'm gonna participate, no doubt, no doubt. I've been waiting for an excuse to go and polish that kind of demo app as well. And you know,
It was nice.
speaking of Whale, we talked about Whale earlier. He's building, or like him or Flare Forward is building something with Proof for Rails as well. He kind of shared some of the progress with me. So
Yes, nice.
yeah, so that's really, really, really cool. But I'm gonna share my screen. Sorry, I totally ruined yours, Trav. I think I just overridden yours.
Okay. I'm
Overrode.
just over here crying myself to sleep. It's no big deal. It's fine. Go for it.
Congratulations! You just deployed a new project to Kobe Beans projects, and this is inside Vercel. So I was able to. So here's the repo, and I pushed it to GitHub, or I pushed this to GitHub, and then I went in here into Vercel and connected that repository so we can get to our dashboard. And now we have a live domain, of course, temporary. We don't own the domain, but so we have our app live on the real internet. The only step that we didn't go over today was environment variables. That's another conversation. There's only one environment variable needed for this app, and it's a AI, like API key, so you can actually use the built-in AI.
Super cool. Hold up. I'm just finished reposting the post here. This is that was the front end there.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yep.
Was it different from the previous front end we saw?
Nope. It's the same, but now instead of but the first one you saw was just on my machine, no network connection.
Okay.
So I could send you this link and you could also pull it up. That's what makes this different, right?
Okay.
So it's more like real and out in the wild, right? So this would be the end of this this process, right? So we've done our building, and the next step, which we're not going to go over today, would be testing and then an iteration loop.
That's super cool. Okay, I love it.
And I do got to run soon, so
you crushed that.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, we are definitely
But yeah, stay
over time.
No worries. I was just going to tell people, stay tuned. We're going to be doing more stuff like this. I've been talking to some other like bigger creators that are in this space to bring them on and interview and pick their brains and kind of see, okay, what part of the, do they agree with us that idea is going to be 90%, 80% of your time spent, things like that. So stay tuned for more exciting stuff from us.
Absolutely.
Guys,
Absolutely.
see you on the next one.
Yes. Just want to hold up. Get rid of your screen there, Kobe. I want to thank you guys so much. We are pushing 150 viewers today on a day where X is not working out so well. So I just want to send a huge thank you guys for joining us today, being a part of this conversation. Again, if you guys have any questions, any concerns, any feedback, let us know. Either feel free to comment under this live stream post or send us a DM. We're always checking them out. My name is Trav, Kobe, Quantic. Appreciate every single one of you guys. See you next week. Have a wonderful weekend. Take care.
Bye-bye.